Hello and welcome to another edition of the Prose Bros Visit Sunnydale. I am Jeff.
And I am Eddie Cruz.
And today we are doing episode 2 of season 3, Dead Man's Party.
Dead Man's Party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a guest today.
We do.
Yeah.
The most amazing guests we've ever had is the best guest, the most glorious guest, our great savior guest, Joey.
I don't know what makes me a great savior, but thank you.
I don't know. I just wanted to go up and beyond the last ones.
Savior's pretty. That's epic.
Yeah. Next, we're going to get into God territory.
Is he
God tier?
Is he saving us? Are you saving us from something?
Or am I saving myself?
You're saving us from doing
wow.
the show alone.
Okay. Well, 2 people isn't alone.
I don't know. I feel like we're one.
Like
I want to edit all of this out.
Well,
Yeah,
or you can keep. Yeah, that's your show.
Yeah. Hey, Eddie.
What's up?
What was this episode about?
I don't know.
Oh, shit.
Good segue.
Okay, well, this episode starts out with Buffy coming back home. They do like a little recap. And I've noticed in the recap, they leave out the hug. Like, so I think to build a little bit of tension.
Yeah,
because this episode is a little bit like, fuck you, Buffy.
It's to frame it in a way. It's like, oh, Joyce is a bad mother again.
Yeah, maybe not. I don't know if it's that. I think it's more building up the tension of Buffy's back, and not everybody's cool with her having left. And it's kind of doing that without talking about anything or anything like that. But at the end of the last episode, it clearly ended with Joyce giving Buffy a big hug. And in the recap, it didn't show that at all. No hug. And it cut to her folding clothes and then having a conversation with Joyce that was very passive-aggressive on Joyce's. Well, no, maybe not passive-aggressive that time. It was like overly, like, overbearing. She was like, oh my God, do you want more food? Do you want more this? What can I do to be a good mother?
Well, she makes that comment. Buffy surprises her in the room while she's folding. Or
yeah,
she's,
like, are you slaying tonight?
Well, she's like doing that. She's putting up the artwork or something. And she's like, oh, I got used to the quiet. Like, that's kind of a weird comment, right?
Yeah, right? Like, Buffy's folding stuff and then goes to talk to her mom, and her mom accidentally hits the hammer through the wall, and it's like, whoa, I didn't notice you were there. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. She's like, oh, this last week has been so nice. How long has she been gone? Like, what? I mean,
3 months,
max,
they said?
3 months? Okay.
Yeah.
Like, you got that used to the quiet in 3 months?
Well, she was gone for 3 months in the first season because she went with her dad for
the
summer.
So she's like, there's holes all over the fucking every wall. Also, why would you put, like, why not use a thumbtack for that little mask? Like, why are you using a hammer?
Well, how heavy is it?
I would assume not that heavy, right?
I don't
It's a
know.
piece of wood that's, 4 inches by 2 inches or 3 inches.
Sexist comment, doesn't know how to use tools.
Except for robot tools.
Whoa.
Whoa!
Hey-o, Joyce.
Hi-yo.
Yeah.
All right, so so she's like, oh, are you slaying tonight? And Buffy's like, well, I don't know if I have to, but I want to go find Xander and Willow. And she's like, oh, maybe I can pack you a sandwich. She's like, I already ate because you fed me a whole bunch. And she's like, if you don't want me to go, just say so. And she's like, no, I want things to get back to normal. Go ahead and go. Buffy takes off, and she finds the Scoobies attempting to slay a vampire.
Nighthawk.
Nighthawk,
yeah.
Nighthawk. Yeah,
I'm
Xander
actually
is
upset
wearing...
that they didn't follow through with more Nighthawk.
Yeah, right? Maybe like have a whole half episode of just Xander being Nighthawk.
They dropped the Nighthawk thing too soon.
Like, wait, this episode only.
Yeah, dude, it, like, popped collar, huge cross. Obviously, the cross is for, I don't know, like, scaring.
He looked like
vampires?
essentially
Melting
like a goth kid. A weird,
Punisher goth kid.
Yeah. He would have been a good Punisher there, you're right.
Yeah.
I like the idea of Xander, like, preparing to slay. He's like, all right, looking in the mirror, popping his collar. He picked that look out because he's all, this is it.
No, it's pretty ridiculous. So they she actually comes up to Xander, says hi to him, and immediately on saying hi, a vampire pops out. He kicks all the Scoobies' asses. Buffy slays him and then goes, hi, guys. And they all look up at her like, I really missed you / I kind of want to fuck you. Like, it was kind of like they all gave her that I want to fuck you look.
I love the moment with Cordy where she's like basically the only one who's all like, hey, and excited to see her. She just tosses her out of the way.
Honestly, I liked Willow's face because this is for first chance at her lesbianism.
Oh, yeah, a little bit, right?
Yeah.
I got some of that in this episode too. I don't know if I'm rewriting the story.
I don't know, maybe.
We'll get to that when it comes.
So after that, they all grab her and they take her to go see Giles. And Giles is like taken aback by the fact that Buffy is standing at his door. Xander makes a really kind of witty comment that's not very good. I guess it's like
stupid, right?
Yeah, he's kind of babbling on to try to cut the silence because it's very awkward. And Giles is obviously like overwhelmed to see Buffy, and then invites them in. Right as he invites them in, he makes tea. Everybody's eating. He goes to the bathroom and starts like almost smile crying. Like he's so relieved that he starts crying in the bathroom.
And
was it the kitchen? The bathroom?
I don't know. It was in front of a sink.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, it was like a weird heater setup in there. But also the last time Giles saw Buffy was when he was being tortured, if he even saw her.
Yeah, huh? Because he didn't see her before that either. So he's been through a lot and dealing with a lot. And on top of that, he's just been worried sick about her. I mean, going out to find random vampire sightings to see if she's there.
You know what's kind of strange? And maybe they should have done something like this in this season. They're all very accepting that it's Buffy that comes back.
Yeah.
And it's the Hellmouth. You don't know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So she could be any sort of demon, but they're, oh yeah, sure. And they didn't really do anything with that. I think one of the episodes, they play with that idea later on, but I was thinking about that during the episode. I was like, it would have been cool to do something with that.
They play around with that with Willow when she comes back. After that, Willow brings up school. So, Buffy's like, hey, we should hang out. And then they're all like, we have school and you can't go. They bring back the fact that she's expelled. She can't even go to school. And she's like, oh, I guess I have to go talk to Snyder. Cut to Snyder's office.
Snyder's fucked up teeth.
Yeah. He's like, he's there. And Buffy and her mom go in to talk to him about her being re-enrolled. And they explain that everything else is okay, like with the police, all the charges have been dropped and everything.
Very quickly, too.
Very quickly.
Right?
And what's his name's the one that actually says, like, well, all the charges have been dropped, so you should get back in.
I love that.
Yeah.
We don't need any more explanation.
Yeah.
It's just, that's it.
None whatsoever.
That's it. Move on.
Full on assaulted a police officer.
That should not be dropped.
No problem at all.
We should have a new section. Consult the lawyer.
Yeah. So Snyder is just like, Buffy, you're a fucking bitch.
Dude, I was waiting for the impression.
You're a stupid bitch. And, I don't know if you know this, but there's hot dog on a stick and you should be making my lemonade, you fucking bitch.
He said she looked cute. I thought that was kind of weird.
Inappropriate.
You look cute in that thing and bouncing up and down making my lemonade a hot dog on a stick.
Well, it's obviously like a power trip. That's kind of why he's a principal.
He keeps on saying that
students.
It makes him tingle that she's not at the school.
Yeah, weird.
That made me
said it twice.
Where does it make him tingle?
In the
point it out on this doll.
On his hot dog on a stick.
So they leave the office, and when Buffy comes back home, this random lady is coming out of her house. Her name's Kat, and she is annoying as all hell. Right?
Yes.
Just picture anybody that sells turquoise in Santa Fe has nothing to do with turquoise.
It's the nosy,
very nosy
white lady neighbor.
Yeah.
Is that fucked up to say?
No.
All right.
Yeah, I've never seen a Mexican woman act. That's
gives away way too much. It gives way too much story.
It could be any. Actually, it could be any.
She's just obnoxious.
Yeah.
She's just obnoxious. Yeah.
Let's say all races can be obnoxious.
Yeah. So she sucks, and she tells Buffy, I've been looking after your mom while you were gone because you're a horrible daughter, and she's doing a lot better now.
Thanks to me.
And I'm glad you're back.
It would have been better if it was that direct because it was like so passive aggressive. It was, oh my god, it got on my nerves.
Yeah,
I think that's the point.
That's a point, right? Yeah. That's a good thing about
exposition through passive aggressiveness.
So Buffy goes inside, and her mom's like, "Hey, I've been thinking about having a dinner party for you since you're coming back, and we can have everybody over, and I can see everybody, and we're gonna clear the air, kind of thing. Why don't you go downstairs and find the company plates?" So she goes downstairs to find the plates, the fine china.
Okay, I got a question about these plates before we get to what happens in the basement. The party is that night. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like an impromptu party that she's just going to be like, everybody's going to show up.
Okay, so they're getting ready super early. And why are the nice plates in this gross-ass basement?
Yeah, why do they put them in the farthest wall of the basement? That's insane.
Easy. The script said it.
Oh, yeah, right? And also, you can't find a random
cat.
dead cat in your living room.
I
would have
would
noticed
like
it.
that better, just a random dead cat in the nice
living room.
cabinets.
Yeah.
So, obviously, she goes downstairs and finds a dead cat.
Yeah.
Dead cat's on top of the plates, I guess? I don't know.
Maybe that's why they didn't use the plates.
Yeah. And the rest of their afternoon is spent, I guess, burying this cat in a shallow grave in the backyard.
Illegally?
That definitely illegally. You cannot bury your cat in your backyard, or your dog. You're not actually allowed to, but people do it anyway.
Well, Joey, is that?
It could be different state to state.
Okay.
So I'm not going to speak any further on that.
Consulting a lawyer is bullshit. Give us lawyer answers. Just kidding. So after they bury the cat, I guess Buffy goes to sleep and starts having a dream about Angel, right?
Yeah.
So she's at school. The school is like obnoxiously white. It's like really, really white.
Like a haziness, fuzziness to it.
So she's having a dream about Angel, and he says something, but I don't remember. Like, I couldn't catch it, and I didn't think it was that important.
No, she asked if it was a dream, and
he's like, yeah, it's a dream, you moron, and you killed me.
And is this scene just something to remind us that she's still having feelings for Angel? Because we've talked about her prophetic dreams before, and I didn't really feel like this did anything. This felt like an average dream.
Yeah, it felt like kind of not out of place, but just kind of, you didn't really need it there.
Yeah.
Just besides to have David Boreanaz on set.
His outfit was funny. It was just kind of like unbuttoned, like, I mean, not comically low, because that's like a style of fashion, but it's just kind of douchey, even in her dreams.
Yeah, just super douche. I mean, he is a super douche. I guess at some point she wakes up and she walks into the kitchen. Joyce starts talking to her about maybe having to move to a different school. I wonder where that other school would be.
Right next to the Krispy Kreme.
There you go.
That's my...
They have like 4 other schools.
Moondale.
Yeah. They talk about maybe doing like homeschooling, and Joyce is like, you can't do that. I'm the only breadwinner, and at the end of this episode, the house is going to be ruined.
Yeah.
So while they have that conversation, the dead cat walks back in to the house, right? Because it came back from the dead overnight?
Not overnight, like midday, because it was still the same day.
I think it was that night. While Buffy was sleeping, they show the cat coming out of the grave.
Oh.
At some point.
At some point, right? And then after that, they open the door, and the cat just walks in, all Pet Cemetery style.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just like the side of it's just opened up. And so they're like, ah! And they, do what they do when they find dead things in the house. They call Giles up. And he comes over, and he has a pet cage, and he gets the cat and puts it in the cage.
I was going to say, I wonder why they just didn't kill it again, but for some reason that seems more fucked up, even though it is technically a zombie cat.
Yeah. Also, like, you don't want to, like, cut its head off and it still be alive. Like Return of the Living Dead, when they just, like, cut up the zombie into pieces and it's still alive, and now you just have this weirder problem.
Come to think of it, that's pretty dangerous. It's like this zombie cat, and they're all, we'll call Giles, and he'll just handle it like nothing.
Mm-hmm.
What if he gets bit?
Well, I don't think that the zombies in this world work the same way, right?
But they don't know that.
Yeah, they don't know that.
Ghoulish,
Yeah,
if anything.
They have no idea what they're dealing with.
Kind of like Alien Covenant. You should have worn fucking spacesuits, you morons.
Alien Covenant, you shouldn't say I've seen this type of devil before and then follow the devil.
There you go, right? Right, there you go. So the Scoopies are, I guess, sitting around talking without Buffy there, and then Oz has an Oz moment where he's like, well, is this a shindig, a get-together, a hootenanny?
Yeah, so they're all talking about what they can do for Buffy and having this party to, I guess, help her through or take her mind off of whatever she's going through.
Yeah.
Like you said, like, and I guess we can talk about this. Do you think that was like them talking shit or actually trying to help her or come up with ideas for her to get over whatever shit she's going through?
I think...
Because they still don't know.
it starts out with them talking about what they want the party to be and turns into an easier way of dealing with the party, right? So during talking about it, they're like, well, what kind of party do we want to have? And the thing is that the biggest kind of party would be the less interaction, the better at this point, right? They're all avoiding talking to her. And so they invite a band and thus turn it into a full-on rager.
That just seems so weird to me. I don't know how you guys feel, but they get mad at Buffy at one point for not sharing, not communicating, and they're let's have a party where we don't have to and we're just going to ignore you.
Yeah, exactly. Well, essentially after that, they're like, why are you even having this kind of party? They start talking a bunch of shit about her kind of thing. And you can tell that they're holding in a lot of resentment towards her, and they're afraid of telling her anything because she might flee again.
Yeah, run off.
So the party turns out to be fucking huge, right? Turns out to be one of those parties that you can't really control, the ones that you have and just go with the flow, right?
Yeah, the funny thing about it, it's one of those parties that it's like, oh, we didn't plan for this. It's bigger than we wanted. I hope all our stuff is okay at the end of it.
Yep, that seems to be the motif of most parties that happen in high school, right? On top of that, nobody's talking to each other. You can tell that Buffy really does want to interact with her friends, and she calls Willow, but Willow's watching Dingoes Ate My Children.
Babies.
Whatever. And she doesn't want to be bothered, right? So when Buffy pulls her to the other room, she seems super annoyed, and it's kind of out of character for Willow, but she seems kind of like a little bitch. Acting a little bit like a little bitch.
You think so?
I did. Even she rolled her eyes twice, guys.
Well, she is, but at the same time, she
explains herself.
Why.
Yeah,
so it kind of makes sense. But yeah, she's kind of deflecting a lot, though.
Yeah.
Well.
So they're just not talking. She pulls her to the other room. She's like, "Oh well, air your grievances now." And Willow's like, "Everything's fine. We're having this awesome party for you, so everything's fine. Just have fun."
And do you think part of it is, too, that maybe they all really did get used to Buffy not being around? Like, because they're going about even though they're at her house, they're going about their own things. Willow's watching her boyfriend. Cordy and Xander are, like, going to town everywhere in the house. And everyone's doing their own thing. So I really felt like, we got used to you not being here. And maybe we don't know how to deal with it.
Not even
with you being here now.
I wouldn't even say used to you not being here. More like our lives are kind of still moving forward.
Yeah, it's kind of almost a thing of, all right, well, we did all this for you, but did you really deserve it kind of thing? I think that they're all mad at her because she just bailed on them, right?
And I guess Xander's the only one that really, is immature enough to...
when she first goes up to him, he almost ignores her completely to make out with Cordelia. And Cordelia is just being Cordelia. She she probably missed Buffy, but she doesn't, I guess, really have that much attachment to people. I'm not really sure, but she just acts like she was never even gone to begin with, right?
Yeah.
And they're making out and going to town on each other. Then when Buffy goes upstairs, she overhears Joyce talking about her, and she says the line, well, I thought it was going to be better once Buffy got back, but it turns out that it's almost even worse.
Poor timing on Buffy's part, I think, with that.
Oh, so blaming the victim.
Yeah, but it's a pretty fucked up thing for a mother to say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, she could have phrased that differently.
Okay, it is, but she's talking to maybe the only person she can actually vent to about any of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, I've been on the Joyce is a shitty mother train before, but it's tough when... Who else is she going to talk to about any of this?
I agree with that. At the same time, once again, I think she worded that in a very mean way.
Yeah, I think that's just how she speaks.
Well, she should change that because it's part of the reason why she's a shitty mother. So, Kat, the obvious lesbian, is trying to console Joyce, and Buffy overhears this. Kat is telling Joyce...
Is it Kat or Pat?
I think it's Kat.
It's Kat?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sure it's Kat.
Yeah, they say Catherine.
Okay.
At some point.
There you go.
Yeah, so...
I was thinking like the SNL Pat.
Kat's obviously a lesbian, right, guys?
Yeah.
To me, that was obvious.
She was giving her sexy eyes.
Yeah. And she puts empanadas in a Tupperware, which is stupid because that makes them soggy.
I didn't really see it as like obvious, but I don't think it's like, if she is, I'm like, oh, okay. If she's not, like, you guys thought it was like super obvious?
Pretty much.
I felt like it.
I
felt like
it was
that
a deep
whole time
stare.
she was like, I mean, if you had put that in the real world, that woman would definitely be trying to hook up with Joyce and trying to get the daughter out of the way.
Which,
So she
yeah,
could-
we've already seen to this point.
Yeah.
One half of that.
Wow.
And not that there's anything wrong with being a lesbian, nothing like that.
It's the same thing as the Ted episode, but with a lot more tongue action. So Giles realizes that the mask is evil at this time, and he starts calling the house. And Shaggy from Scooby-Doo answers the phone and it's like, yeah, Mr. Belvedere, bro, no.
Yeah, I love that dude, actually.
Yeah, that was
the
kinda
random
good.
stoner who's just
Somebody
smoking.
breaks something and it's just like, that guy needs to take a shot.
Yeah, and he's obviously not smoking a cigarette,
No,
right?
he's smoking weed.
And Joyce is totally cool with it. He's just
Well,
like,
I don't think she's around. Like, once again, a bad mom. She's just in the kitchen drinking straight vodka with her friend Kat.
Well, that's not even bad mom. That's like bad homeowner? It's like-
Yeah, right?
That's,
I mean,
it's bad overall.
yeah, just horrible. The whole situation is really ridiculous. So Giles realizes that, and he can't get a hold of Buffy. So,
Buddy.
Buddy.
There's no buddy here.
Yeah, there you go. That
Nobody
guy's like, buddy.
here.
There's nobody. Yeah, that's an old school. What's that from Odysseus? The Odyssey?
Yeah. So Giles drives furiously to Buffy's house, right? And that's when he hits somebody.
Yeah.
And we think it's, do we think? I thought that was just a fucking zombie, but he
Yeah.
thinks it's a real person.
Yeah, so he gets out of the car, realizes it's a zombie, and we come back to Willow catching Buffy packing. So she's catching, she catches Buffy, and she's like, what the hell are you doing? And Buffy's like, nothing, I just can't fucking take this anymore. And then Joyce walks in, and she's like, what the fuck are you doing? And she's like, I just can't fucking take this anymore. And they're like, take what? And she runs downstairs, and they decide to have this full-on, like, I guess, kind of intervention in front of the entire school.
I love that.
Yeah.
That explosion in front of everybody.
Yeah, just like, I don't care anymore, we're going to talk now. And everybody's, like, gathering around. Like, half of the party leaves, like, oh, my God. And the other half is, like, fucking watching a novela.
See, and I was thinking some of the other people will just like, fuck, let's go to the kitchen and drink some of this vodka this old lady left out.
Yeah, right?
So they're just all in there.
I gotta say also that when they pour the vodka and her and Kat are drinking it, she like takes a swig and she's like, "Whoo!" and looks at Kat and she's like, "Yeah, it's strong shit." Like, so that's how you know it's straight vodka.
Also, what's going down in the basement? Where are all these people? You know, people are fucking everywhere in that house.
Yeah, dude, like fucking doing ecstasy, snorting coke. Maybe, I don't know. High school's more weed and ecstasy and stuff like that, right?
I feel if
I don't know anymore.
If you were all at this house party, would you all leave or just stay there?
I would stay there. If that was happening, I would totally stay there.
If it was going how it was going, I'd stay.
I would
Yeah.
leave unless I was playing a show there, and then I'd be like, so should we start? Or, like, should we let this finish? Like,
Well,
Do
Oz
some-
was in the band, so
do some rim shots whenever, like, somebody has a good burn.
Well, every
Xander.
time, yeah, basically, Xander starts being a complete dick. So everybody's throwing in and piling up on Buffy, and Xander's kind of doing the worst of it. Essentially, he is the only one that isn't trying to be nice at all, and it's just laying it in on Buffy on how she left and how everybody, needed her and she wasn't around. And that was really, really callous and immature of her. And then she brings up, was it Night Stalker?
Nighthawk.
Nighthawk.
Night Stalker sound. That's a little bit different.
Sorry, that's what's that guy's name?
Richard Ramirez.
Yeah, he's from El Paso.
Yeah.
Claim to fame. So basically, he acts like a complete asshole to Buffy, and at the end of it, Willow goes like, "Well, fine, let's resort to violence," and a zombie bursts through the window, and that just
Which was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
unleashes the hordes of zombies all over the house. Kids actually flee now. The house party is becoming wrecked for another reason. So it's like something that's gone from bad to way worse. The stoner guy gets his neck twisted
That
off.
was awesome.
Yeah.
So he gets his up and comings.
Which is fucked up. Like, he was annoying, but as a person, does he deserve to die?
I don't know.
Like,
Yes, he deserved to die, and I hope he burns in hell. Sorry.
I'm glad you took that.
Yeah.
That was
No, I mean, I don't think he deserved to die. If anything, he followed the rules because when someone broke something, he wanted that person to drink.
yeah. I mean, some sort of repercussion. But even watching that scene, I was all like, yeah. I was like, wait, I'm just cheering for that guy to die. He did nothing.
Yeah.
He was kind of
it was also super comical, which was nice. Like, it kind of broke the silence, even though in this horrific way. And also, he didn't he didn't die forever, right? He comes right back to life. I mean, assumedly.
By the rules of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's provided if zombies have souls. His body came back, and who knows where. We can go down a rabbit hole with this
Yeah.
one. So, I don't know.
Yeah. But I would say the way they handled it, that's why it's okay to laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, at the end of all this, essentially, Giles shows up, and everything's going fucking insane all over the house, to the point where Kat, the future
Lesbian
potential-
neighbor.
Yeah, the lesbian neighbor, gets dragged away by a zombie, and I'm not sure what he does to her.
I'm guessing neck break, probably.
Neck break?
Because he was holding her by
something. But they pick her up, they put her in the room, and she's dead. And they're fighting off more zombies. The masks, his eyes are glowing. She comes back to life after dying, puts the mask on, and by
It's like
Giles...
super zombie.
There he goes.
right?
Giles
Zombie
says,
king.
well, if one of the zombies puts on the mask, then we're in really big trouble. And she's like a bad zombie? He's like, oh, way worse than a zombie.
Was that good? Was that a good reveal? Like, we see Kat get dragged away. We don't know. We assume she's still alive.
I would have liked something more from that. That was I think, a lost opportunity for either, maybe a little bit of violence and goriness that maybe they couldn't have put on the air, and or just something a little bit more,
Definite?
Yeah, definite, or even just like something was missing there.
Maybe that's why the annoying stoner dude died, because I feel like they might have wanted to do that with Kat, but they wanted that reveal because Kat's truly the most annoying character.
I think to
episode,
you,
right?
she definitely is.
She's not?
I don't know. I mean,
yeah.
To most people, I would say maybe, but that stoner guy is pretty freaking annoying too, right?
He's more of a comic relief annoying.
I enjoyed him more than I enjoyed her, but I think that just might be my sense of...
Oh, I like him. I think it's funny, but I'm just wondering if they wanted to do that kind of death originally with Kat.
With Kat.
And it would have had
I would have liked it
payoff.
if, like, Kat kind of went after Buffy and said some mean shit during the intervention, and Buffy's mom, like, stepped in and said, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
That would have been
That would
nice.
have been good.
Yeah. And then she would have redeemed herself, some stuff like that. Anyway, that didn't happen. So Kat comes back to life,
Us
puts on this mask.
writing episodes.
There you go.
I like doing that personally.
Me too. It's fun.
So we're rewriting. So turns out Kat didn't die. Bill Cosby was there, and that's giving her all the drinks.
There you go. Just take these Advil.
Oh, yeah.
They're herbal pills for your migraine. See you when you wake up. So Kat puts on the mask, and then they're in trouble, right? So Giles is being attacked by a bunch of hordes, and he goes like, Buffy, get her in the eyes. It's all about the eyes.
It's exactly how he said it too.
It was like, bro,
Get her in the eyes.
it's all about the eyes, bro.
Just to be clear, he never told her that. He told Oz to go
told
tell
Oz
her,
to go
and
tell
then he
her, right?
walks out, and he's about to tell her.
And she just grabs a shovel and shoves it through Kat's eyes.
Yeah.
And Kat has like an ability though before this,
The
right?
flash.
She has this like flash where
Like
it's
some
like
Medusa thing,
takes like a
right?
like almost like a flash picture and makes Willow stop, and then she's about to grab Willow and I guess suck her soul out or do something like that, and Buffy grabs her and goes out the window with her and then stabs her in the eye with a shovel.
They didn't really explain what this like super zombie was going to do with these people.
Yeah, they
Eat
really
'em,
didn't.
Kill
Yeah.
them. Like, I don't
Convert 'em.
understand the point.
I don't know either.
It's probably because Giles was flipping through those fucking pages earlier.
yeah,
and
he was just like not really giving a fuck. Didn't really read it through the first time all the
he
way.
was just flipping pages, dazing off.
Yeah, yeah, very lackadaisical there. So once she does that, all is good in the world, even though Joyce's best friend is dead out on the lawn, and half of the city's cemetery is laid down in front of or all around Buffy's house?
No, their bodies disappear. Boom. Remember?
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
They flashed
just
away.
flashed away?
Yeah, every single body flashed away.
It's convenient.
So
That is very, very convenient.
once again, there's nobody.
Oh my God, Joey.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. We're keeping that in, but I'm not doing another one.
What? They knew what they were doing, right?
Yeah,
With that?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I guess at this point they really can't write off that, right? Like,
And-
how do you explain that?
And even if that was an accident, I'm sure it'd be all, no, that was totally intentional. That's why there was no bodies at the end. There's nobody. Nobody?
There you go.
I don't know.
So after all is said and done, everything is good and hunky dory at her house comparatively
Except
to
for
before.
It's fucked.
It's fucked. It's all messed up. And Joyce is a single mom who is apparently going to have to homeschool her kid and make enough money to fix that house. Giles decides, you know what? I'm going to go see Snyder. Right? After this, you cut to Giles going in there and being like, look, you little motherfucker. You can't do this. And if you do, I'm going to go to the state level because I know that the mayor, you're in cahoots with the mayor. So
I'll go over your head.
and make your personal life, your professional life a living hell, right?
Yeah.
And Snyder at first doesn't really bite. Then Giles grabs him by the throat and is like, "Oh, do you want me to convince you?" And by the end of it, Snyder agrees that she can come back to school there.
And Giles really looked like he was going to enjoy beating the shit.
Yeah,
Because that's the
He's gonna
that's
turn
the
into
threat,
Ripper.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's going to go into Ripper mode.
He goes totally into Ripper mode, and he's like, "I'm gonna make out with you like Drusilla did to me, to make me tell them what they wanted."
Forgot about that. I
Yeah.
wonder if he remembers that. No, because he was thinking it's still.
Calendar.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
No, I mean, I think he does remember it because he remembers it when he wakes up. He realizes and starts like crying and realizes what he did, and that's the last thing. I mean, yeah, it's horrible. So you end up getting that scene where Buffy's allowed back to school, and we cut to Willow and a conversation with Buffy and Willow, and basically them talking about everything that's happened with Willow since Buffy was gone, and them catching up and making their friendship solidified again.
By insulting each other.
Well, that's the end, but the beginning starts out with them talking about Willow doing witchcraft now, and the fact that she has a boyfriend, and the insults, I think, were kind of a neat way for them to kind of let out a little bit of aggression, while at the same time joke about what's going on, right? Because, I mean, you call Buffy a delinquent, that's cute, and then you call Willow a hussy. That's cute because she's never been called that by anybody, right?
I'd like to see how far that went.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. You closet lesbian.
And that's when the credits come up. The end of the show.
You cold-blooded dick sucker. Because the...
Oh, yes.
right there, yeah.
Oh, my
Would that
God.
have changed him to Andrew Lewis?
Um,
Probably. I
yeah.
think a blowjob would have done it.
I mean, with that, yeah.
Yeah.
He hadn't had sex in forever, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a weird continuity there. Like, where he's like, I went to Elvis's... Like, later he's like, I went to Elvis's wedding, but then at the same time, it's like, no, you didn't. You were eating rats in the sewer the whole time, right?
Well, no, he wasn't.
No.
Because he only did that like the last... What was it, 10,
Kind of shit
20
hit the
years
fan
before?
first. I forgot what happened, but... So he had to go back in hiding for a bit.
Oh, I think I remember what happened, but let's not talk about it till we get there, if we ever do.
Do you think the episode would have been as good if they didn't have the zombie mask story and the zombies invading?
I think that was necessary for the Buffy world to keep on going. Like once again, it's like they're focused on their own personal stuff, and it's really important and very gravitas. And don't forget that there's always something behind and going on. There's always some supernatural thing coming around. This
It's
time
the
it was
Hellmouth.
zombies. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
You
You don't have time for your personal shit. Kind
Yeah,
of thing.
Buffy can never be normal.
Exactly.
And plus it brought everything, in a way, to the forefront.
Yeah. And it brought everything back together, right? So they realize they need Buffy there. Buffy feels wanted afterward, and they realize they don't want each other to die. So it kind of, the immediacy of like having the zombie attack happen kind of solves everything in its own right.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that I didn't like it. I just think it was already a real good episode.
I agree.
Tension-wise, even without that, and yeah, it was still good either way. But I think they could have gone without that and still been a good episode, but obviously a different way to get resolution.
I agree.
And they all get to work together, and it solves the problem faster, as opposed to just continuing to yell at Buffy in front of this party.
Or else it'd just be the Gilmore Girls.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
You haven't? You should watch that.
No, I don't know.
I like the Gilmore Girls.
And?
The original one.
And the zombies break up the party. You don't have to call the cops.
Yeah.
They're not there. There's not like stragglers there till like 4 fucking something in the morning.
Yeah.
It's like, so
At
maybe
the
the
same
zombies
time,
are a good
At the
thing.
same time, they did break every single window in the house. Yeah.
They did.
It kind of sucks.
Yeah.
It's like kind of an ongoing gag throughout the Buffy for that house specifically.
Yeah, the house gets fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
So they bring up a lot that Buffy's selfish. Like, how do you feel about her leaving? I personally think it is selfish, and then her coming back. How do you feel about that dynamic in this episode?
I think that she was being selfish, but at the same time, she did just go through a very, very stressful and kind of bummer of a situation, right? Killing an angel and everything like that. Like, that's traumatic. And I don't think anybody could really honestly relate to that.
Did they deserve to? Did she deserve to be treated like that?
Well, I mean, I don't think she deserved to be told to leave the house in the first place, which Joyce told her to. I don't think it has anything to do... Everybody in this episode was very selfish, in my opinion.
Well, everyone was wronged.
Yeah.
In some form or another.
Everybody was wronged, but they only thought about themselves in being wronged, right? Like, nobody's trying to...
Except for Cordelia.
Except for...
Yeah, Cordelia wasn't wrong and doesn't care about anybody.
She's like, hey.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, nothing happened at Cordy at the end of season 2.
No, she just went on, a cruise? So I guess from her perspective, she comes back. Did she even realize Buffy was missing until somebody told her? So, Joey, I wanted to talk to you about Buffy, because we are here on a Buffy podcast. But particularly since last time you were here, you had seen maybe 3 full seasons?
Actually, I think I was... I don't even think I got to the party episode.
Oh, okay.
Of season 2.
So you're still...
Or the Halloween episode of season 2.
So still season 2, and now you've finished the whole thing, right?
Yes.
You went from 0 to 60 on that, right?
Oh, totally. It took me about a month and a half to do season 1, which was, 12 episodes?
Yeah, 13.
13 episodes. It felt like 40. And then season 2, I finished completely by another month and a half.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
What was the
went right
episode
through it.
that did it for you? Like, where did you go, like, all right, I'm all in?
Well, it's even the first episode of season 2, when she was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one was kind of like, I feel something's different about this.
Like,
and
it's not the same old Monster of the Week crap.
Yeah. So there's just something very specific about it. And then definitely the Halloween episode.
The Halloween episode was great.
Because I think the Mayan episode, the
Inca Mummy Girl?
Inca Mummy Girl, that it didn't like throw me up. I was like, oh, they're kind of going back to Monster of the Week again. So I was like,
yeah,
okay. And then, but when I saw the Halloween episode, I was like, they can do kind of a similar thing, but also do great storytelling. And from that point forward, it was kind of good. And I agree with you for the recent podcast you did. They did hit a slump again of like 2 or 3 episodes right before they did.
The last like 3 episodes before becoming We're All Monster of the Week. And it really just kind of, threw you off.
Killed the pacing.
Rail. Yeah. It was like great. And then shit.
So did you have a favorite season or episode in general?
Probably season 6 the most.
So far, I feel like that's one of my favorite seasons, and so far everybody's talking mad trash about that season. Like it was one of the lesser seasons. A lot of people say that after season 5, they came back with 2 unnecessary seasons, and I think that's bullshit. I think season 6 is awesome.
I used to think that way, and then I watched it, I don't know, several years ago and loved it. I think it might be my favorite.
It's my favorite season.
Yeah, because they start doing... Not necessarily Monster of the Week. It's closer. It feels like a lot more of the Halloween episode. Like they could do like more of that style.
Yeah,
and
it
still
was
develop.
almost like a a way of doing things that really opened up characterization. Yeah. And they really just furthered that so far along that you couldn't really call any episode Monster of the Week.
Yeah, a little harder. And I would say, I think my favorite episode is even in that season, the musical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's rated as the best of all time, right, by a lot of people?
I think that actually Becoming was the best of all time.
Was it?
I don't remember anymore. I really that list sucked. I don't care.
And I'm not like a fan of musicals or anything, but just the way it was handled and everything.
I like Singing in the Rain.
Yeah.
It's a dope fucking movie.
Never seen it.
You should see that.
Should I, though?
I mean, I don't care. And now that I've told you should see it, you're going to have an expectation. You're going to watch it. You're not going to like it. I actually think you might like it, though.
Okay.
Bobby made me watch that, and I didn't want to watch it at all, but we lived together, and I watched it, and it was very, very... It's a very great movie.
Did he make you do it all Clockwork Orange style?
Yeah, like he fucking tied me down to a fucking couch cushion.
Just eye drops.
Eye drops, yeah, the whole thing. He made me do that with that in like a 4-hour documentary on Michael Jordan that I really enjoyed.
Why does he keep tying people down and forcing them to do these things?
I don't know, man.
That's weird. You should talk to him.
Afterwards, I always feel like it's good, but maybe I just have like, what's that, Mullenholm syndrome? Is that what it's called?
Stockholm?
Yeah.
Not Mullenholm. Who's Mullenholm?
I am not aware of any Mullenholm.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, Stockholm syndrome. Where I'm just like, oh, I'm so glad that you tied me up, Bobby.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. And to kind of quickly wrap up what I was talking about, like, even though I would say season 6 is my favorite, I would say 5 and 7 are very, very close behind.
Like, so you like 7?
Oh, I love 7.
I love 7 too.
I don't.
See, not everybody loves 7.
Yeah, and I don't know because this is the first time you're really watching it in a quick succession, right?
Yes.
So for me, it was all like obviously a month and a half. I finished a load of episodes in, and I thought I'd get fatigued and be like, "Oh, I'm tired of this," but I just kept wanting more as it went on.
We'll see what happens when we watch it again. I might have a different opinion, but going in, I think 7's a weak season for me personally. All right. So do you all want to say anything else about the episode? You guys like it?
I thought it was a good episode.
I liked it.
It was very fast. It felt very, very fast. I think it was a normal length episode, but it went by super fast. I think the pacing was good. I think it did a really good job at building the same awkward tension that they were all feeling. You felt it too, and there was a lot of like basically words that were said that didn't mean anything, right? Like they're just trying to like avoid the issue. And it did a really good job doing that.
And this episode does one of the things I really like about Buffy in general is the main characters who are all friends and love each other. They get in arguments, and they get in serious arguments sometimes. And it kind of just like shows a different dynamic than from what we see in other shows where there might be like a small squabble or whatever, but you don't really dive into it like they do here.
Yeah, and I really like this episode for that reason as well. And you see, at least from my perspective, that everybody's right and everybody's wrong. They're all human. They're all dealing with Buffy and kind of dealing with it poorly at sometimes. They don't know what to do, and that's what's awesome about this episode and dealing with the repercussions of her leaving.
And this one, Giles didn't explode yet, right?
I think he was so relieved to have her back, and then also Joyce gave him so much shit about him being the reason she left in the first place and her blaming him, that he was just happy to have her back. He was the only one that was genuinely just cool with her just because she was back.
He was softly sobbing by the water heater.
Yeah, and also realized that there's going to be a zombie apocalypse.
That's true.
Before anybody else. So half of the episode he's just like, oh my god, the zombies! You gotta grant the mask!
And I keep thinking about this. Is this the first like real zombie episode?
Yeah, I think so.
I felt like there was one that was similar, but this is like legitimate zombies.
This one, the Zeppo, and I don't think we see zombies again until Angel, right?
Until Angel, yeah.
Till the end of Angel.
And her Lewis.
Oh, by the way, you saw all of Angel too.
Yeah, I finished
so
Angel as well.
Oh, did you? I know that.
You got deep in that.
Yeah.
Nice, man.
Angel Lewis.
Yeah,
Angel Lewis.
In the city.
All inside of Angel.
All up inside Angel and Gunn.
Oh, Gunn.
All the good stuff, man.
Yes. Wesley.
Well,
Oh,
Des,
dude,
how about
Leslie.
how many people died, Jeff?
This one seemed like it was going to be a hard one to follow.
Yeah, so the deaths were a little weird. Buffy killed the vampire that the rest of the Scoobies were struggling with. Cat died as a human.
Mm-hmm.
The stoner dude definitely died. And then Cat died as the supreme
Whatever.
super zombie. So I only really counted 4.
Well, and
What
then
about the
there
other
was about,
zombies?
There was the massive zombies, but they only showed like 2 or 3, boop, kind of disappear.
Yeah, so I don't know how to really describe that, if that's like something that's deaths.
I would say that mask was in charge of keeping all those people alive. So by counting Kat and her death, you essentially are counting all of
Oh my
them.
God. It's almost like the bat eggs. I feel like we can say it like bat eggs set a precedent where if like the main monster dies, all of them die, and we don't need to include them.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I really didn't see any other humans die. A lot of them got dragged away, and we assume they died or something
But
happened.
you gotta die on screen.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know. So even the first cat death by human was kind of weird. But I'm going to say 4 anyway. 2 human, 1 demon, 1 vampire. There we go.
Boom. 4 deaths.
Yes.
We don't have a catchphrase yet.
Well,
No.
we're not. We need to talk about the next episode.
Oh, man, I don't even know what that is.
I think I'm going to butcher the title. I think it's Hope, Trick, and Faith.
I think it's Faith, Trick, and Hope.
I'm going to take your word for it because I think I'm wrong.
I just said that to fuck with you.
Oh well, then
It's those 3 words in some order.
Ah.
And of course, we all know what this one is, right?
yeah.
So Faith shows up,
Faith.
Trick shows up, and Trick decides to eat a guy from Whataburger or wherever they are. Like he has fast food. I remember that.
Does he?
Yeah, like he goes up to
Well, if they're in Cali, it's going to have to be In-N-Out.
In-N-Out. He goes to an In-N-Out burger and he orders something, and when the person comes out to give it to him, he just grabs the person and pulls them to the car, and it's like, I love fast food.
Do we get? Do we see the mayor this episode?
I think we see a little bit of the mayor, but not too much. Just one of those little tidbits, and I think that it's in calling Trick. He calls in Trick to work.
Yeah, the Trick's
with
there for
him.
a reason.
Yeah.
So it's, I guess, Mayor's introduction, Faith's introduction, which I'm excited to see Faith.
Yeah, I mean, she's definitely fun in this episode. She's very boisterous. She's it's kind of one of those things where Buffy gets a little jelly. It's a little peanut butter and jelly right there. She's like, oh man.
I almost want to say she's like the Venom to like Peter Parker if Buffy were Peter Parker and she's Venom. She gets to enjoy everything while both these other superheroes are confined by responsibility.
Mm-hmm. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember it being a good one.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
Cool. Yeah, so we all like this one.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked
It's
it.
good.
Yeah.
Catch lines.
We're going to trail off at what we can do.
I don't know.
Was
I
there
guess,
anything?
Was there anything in this one that we can use?
I mean, we can just say something.
Okay.
I'm feeling all tingly.
Willow's
Nighthawk.
not wearing overalls. That makes her hotter.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, by the way, Cordelia in that dress looked amazing. I
There you
should
go.
say.
Yes.
I think so.
Mm-hmm. Cordelia always looks amazing.
God bless her.
Do you guys want to talk about the Dingo Singer?
The Dingo Singer sucked. I have always hated that character.
Do you like his outfits? I think they might be douchier than Angel's.
They are very gadzooksy. They are very, very...
That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah.
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 I was thinking he's like the type of dude that he's in a band, he's a lead singer. You know he's not helping set up or
No,
anything. He's
not at
like,
all. He's Scott Staff from Creed.
He never helped.
No.
Didn't he play guitar?
Scott's no.
I thought he. No.
Guys, he had no musical ability at all. He just sings like Eddie Vedder. He's like, and he gives good hugs, right? With arms wide open.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. Ew.